So this is the phone you guys have been waiting for, iQOO 9 SE. They should have written SE over here. With Snapdragon 888, 120Hz AMOLED display, 66 watt fast charging and 48 megapixel OIS camera. So the question that has to be asked is, should you consider iQOO 9 SE over iQOO 9? And what's the right price for iQOO 9 SE? And what's up with the SE series? Since we already have the unboxing of both iQOO 9 and iQOO 9 Pro over here, the box content here you see is more or less the same. Get the phone, a case, 66 watt charger, USB Type A to Type C cable, Type C to 3.5mm dongle, so no headphone jack, and some paperwork, SIM ejector tool. And you get dual SIM card slot. This video is different and we'll talk about key points that matter to you and more of one-day experience which helps you decide the best phone for you. And yes, this video is made in collaboration with iQOO, but you know it, I know it, the opinions are mine. Now first up, to me the iQOO 9 SE looks a lot similar to iQOO 7 last year. You have a different color this time which looks different from different angle, reflective colors. You also have a Space Fusion black color which looks gorgeous to me. Now I like the in-hand feel of the device. It reminds me of iQOO 7's curved back. Now it's not a one-handed device, but not even huge. Now you get a 1080p 120Hz AMOLED display just like last year. You also get Scotch Sensation glass protection. Now the display gets really bright up to 1300 nits, but that is peak brightness which you will only get during HDR movies. Now here have a look. You can see the phone quite well even under direct sunlight. Also you get wideband L1, so you get 1080p video playback on Netflix. Also I checked Prime Video and you get 1080p playback on Prime Video as well. Now the display, color contrast, the viewing angles all are good. But what I noticed is you get an in-display fingerprint scanner which is fast enough like a normal in-display fingerprint scanner. But the scanner is too low, like it should have been somewhere over here, but it is bottom here, so you have to reach it out a bit, but it's fast. And you also get dual stereo speakers here. Listen to the audio. Now the volume from the stereo speakers are not equal, like the bottom one is a bit extra loud, but overall it's loud enough and the clarity is really good. Now performance is where you will find the difference between iQOO 9 and iQOO 9 SE. iQOO 9 comes with Snapdragon 888, 8GB LPDDR5 RAM, 128GB UFS 3.1 storage. So Snapdragon 888 is last year's flagship processor. And 888 last year had a lot of heating issues. But this year, you're seeing more phones with it and they are well optimized. Like here you see in the CPU throttling test, iQOO 9 SE throttled only 80%, which is good for Snapdragon 888. And even the average score you see here is really good. Now iQOO 9 SE has put up a 1551mm square vapor cooling chamber. So let's put that to test and play BGMI. So you can play extreme graphics at smooth, balance, HD, HDR. Or you can go Ultra HD and 40 FPS, but we'll place extreme FPS in HDR graphics because why not? Snapdragon 888. Now see, one of the reasons I like to play in HDR graphics is because see, I step into the shadow is properly over me, and I step out here in light, there is good amount of highlight. The touch response rate is so good in this, like see here, like the fire response. Now it might be because of that 1000Hz instant touch sampling rate, but I can actually feel that the gameplay and the touch response is very smooth. But of course, this is like first impression, so I'll play for some more time and we'll have a really good video. Now iQOO 9 gives you the option to play 90 FPS in BGMI, one of the few phones. But here on iQOO 9 SE, it is only 60 FPS. But iQOO has this option called frame interpolation. It increases your 60 FPS game to 90 FPS. Like I'll try to explain it to you in a very simple way. I have multiple pictures of my hand. I'm continuously changing this picture. It gives you the illusion of a video, right? Now I know my hand is moving from top to bottom. Now using software and an algorithm, I can estimate my hand position and create more photos of my hand movement. And then it will start looking like this, like it looks in the video. See? So smooth. That's what frame interpolation is. Like BGMI here is playing at 60 FPS, but when I turn on frame interpolation, software adds 30 more frames and makes it 90 FPS. So this 90 FPS only works in BGMI Free Fire, but Free Fire is banned in India, so BGMI only. Now camera is really interesting on the iQOO 9 SE. Like you get a 48 megapixel main sensor with OIS and a 13 megapixel ultra wide angle camera plus macro camera and 2 megapixel monochrome sensor. So now in this frame you see we are shooting against the sunlight, and once we take the photo, it does some HDR processing, and now you can see everything in the background here and here, and even the details on the face is maintained. Now early impressions, I feel the camera sensor is same as previous year iQOO 7, but this year they have worked on more photo processing, but it looks close to natural in real life. So we took a bit of architecture wide angle photos, and you get this 13 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, and in good daylight conditions the photo come out sharp, and even the dynamic range is good. Now the ultra wide angle camera also acts as a macro camera, and it takes good photos. Like I like taking photos of flowers up zoom, and any day it is better than 2 megapixel macro camera. You would agree with that. And this is the 16 megapixel front selfie camera, and just like the rear camera, photos this time looks close to natural, and even the skin tone looks close to natural, not saturated or boosted or made extra white. And this is a video through the front camera, so you can have an idea of the mic quality as well as the video quality. You can only shoot up to 1080p 30 fps. It should be 4K, like come on, iQOO can now start giving 4K from the front camera now. Now this is first impression, and I would need some time to review and understand the iQOO 9 SE camera, but I feel, as far as I can understand, iQOO 9 SE is the phone most people will be looking to buy. So we would do at least a performance or camera review of both the iQOO 9 and iQOO 9 SE. Let me know what do you think about that video. Now one good thing about the software is you get Android 12 right out of the box. Now the thing is, iQOO is promising 2 years of Android updates and 3 years of security updates. So the point here is iQOO 9 SE will get Android 13 and 14 with 1 extra year of security updates. Now you do get all Android 12 features. You get this weather feature where you can check the entire week's weather if you're planning for a vacation, by the way we are. You can also customize fingerprint animation, all of that. And last year iQOO 7 had frame drops in animation, but this FunTouch OS 12, they have worked on the animation, and if you see here, I can do it multiple times and still there is no animation lag or jitteriness. One more thing I noticed is, if you keep the display to auto refresh rate or smart switch, it restricts 120 fps game like Alto's Odyssey to 60 fps. But if you set it to 120 fps, then you can play it at 120 fps, which is odd. Now there is some bloatware, like very less. You have Byju's, PhonePe. You can uninstall all of them, and there's hot apps and hot games as well. So you can go to settings, turn off. You do get Google Dialer now, so you will have this.
This call is now being recorded.
Call recording announcement. Now the battery is same as the previous year. You get a 4500 milliamp hour battery, and you get a 66 watt flash charge. Now the iQOO 9 SE does not support PD charging, so if you have to fast charge, you have to use the inbuilt charger. Now in terms of sensors, you get all the important sensors, gyro, compass. You also have NFC, so if you have a NFC headphone or TWS, you can just tap on them and boom, connected. NFC is helpful. Rest you get 8 5G bands, and I also put my JioSIM inside it, so you get good stable 4G plus carrier aggregation as well. Now as far as I can understand, iQOO 9 SE is going to be priced at 30,990. Now this is the offer price with card discounts, but iQOO 7 launched at 31,990 last year, and with discounts it came down to 27,000-28,000. And I would say it was a good selling phone for iQOO in 2021. So they took up the same winning formula, packed it into iQOO 9 SE with marginal improvements here and there. But that's a good formula. Like for someone out there looking to buy a value for money phone, what would be your requirements? Performance? Check. Camera? Check. Fast charging? Check. Good display? Check. So it seems like one of the best 30,000 phone. Let me know your thoughts on iQOO 9 SE, and this is Riddhi signing off. I'll see you tomorrow.